Sheldon, Fischetti, and Chambers. An 8-lap final race. And pole position, remember, right-hand side, right-hand turns. Into the first turn, it's Gordon, Gocher, Fischetti into the first turn, and Dave Gordon with the hole shot, followed by Victor Sheldon and Harry Gocher. And there's a comfortable left-hand turn. They're not used to that either. An unusual course here in the Florida Keys. Your leader, David Flash Gordon. There is Victor Sheldon, number 56. And Sheldon is wearing a wetsuit. Number 2, David Flash Gordon, now living in Las Vegas, Nevada. And holding a comfortable lead in second, it is Victor Sheldon. On the back straight, Gordon and Sheldon as they come around. Good shot of Victor Sheldon, 22 years old, and your leader, David Gordon, originally from Wayland, Massachusetts, 24 years old. A young man at 24, but he's been around this sport forever, it seems like. Comfortably leading this race, David Flash Gordon ahead of Victor Sheldon, and in third place right now, Jeff Jacobs. We're in lap number 5 of the 8-lap Pro Superstock final. David Gordon, who got the hole shot at the beginning of the race, has continued to hold off Victor Sheldon and Jeff Jacobs. Once again, this is the second moto. And if Victor Sheldon passes Dave Gordon, no problem. He'll still have the overall win. But Dave Gordon has to hold off Jeff Jacobs. And a little miscue there. Sheldon loses his wetsuit, an embarrassing moment, and drops back a place. So Gordon has no idea what's going on, but trouble is on Gordon's tail right now. Jacobs has slipped by Victor Sheldon. So it is David Gordon, number 2, out in the lead. And Victor Sheldon loses his wetsuit. And the 2-time world champion, 17-year-old Jeff Jacobs, slides right by and now is in the hunt and trying to chase down David Flash Gordon. Exactly what Gordon did not want. A battle with Jacobs, and there's Jacobs right there closing in, and Jacobs taking a totally different line than Gordon. A beautiful setting here, the Florida Keys. An unusual right-hand course, very challenging as Gordon and Jacobs come up on slower riders. The lappers ahead. Look at Jacobs to the inside. Gordon slips off out of his tray, 1-foot drop to the outside, then to the inside. Here comes Jeff Jacobs, white flag out, 1 lap to go. Jacobs trying anything he can to intimidate and get around David Gordon. On the back straight, David Flash Gordon from Las Vegas, Nevada. Winner of the first moto. He's got to win this one. It was Jeff Jacobs coming in second. So if Jacobs comes in first, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now, the overall would go to Jacobs. Second moto counting the most. And blue flag out for slower riders. Jacobs now has not given up. In through a couple of S's to the outside now. Aggressive move for Jacobs. Jacobs streams to the outside. Checkered flag. It is Jacobs, and Gordon looks like he goes on to another lap. Gordon did not see the white flag. He is still racing. And instead of crossing the finish line, Gordon going for a second lap, and there's Victor Sheldon telling him to cut. The race is over with. A surprise winner, shaking his head, can't believe it. From third place to first, unusual race. Once again, different camera angle. Going into the final straight, Gordon had all his concentration on keeping that inside line for the next lap. He cuts off too early. He doesn't get the checkered flag. And David Gordon led the entire race but got confused on the final lap, and he'll have to settle for second place. And now let's go down to a happy Jeff Jacobs.
I just thought, you know, if I hang in there, I've had a lot of other races where if that last lap is the only thing that counts. So I just said hang in there, and luckily I got a second win, and also luckily Victor had a little crash over the hop, and then that gave me second place. And I just had my sights on Dave, and it was pretty wild at the end there. I just said, just no friends, man, go for it. And I went around that last buoy right behind him, and he got caught up in traffic, and that plays a part. And I cut underneath him and went on the outside of him and just held that thing wide open. And I looked up and I saw the checker flag. That was one of the best finishes I've ever had.
Jeff Jacobs, with the win in Moto number 2, takes the overall win and adds 20 points to his quest for a third world title.